Hey, welcome back guys, Angel of the Night here. We are going to take on another class at Naranja Academy. Now the only classes that we have left here are Art and Home Ec. So we're going to jump into Art here. And they're saying, would you like to take Art with Mr. Hassel? Yes, Mr. Hassel. Class will begin soon. Don't be tardy. Well, I haven't been yet, so I don't know why you think I'm going to be. Greetings! I am Hassel. I will be teaching this art class. It is a pleasure to meet you all. Now, let me be candid for one moment. I imagine that many of you will forget all that you learned in this class once you graduate. After all, you don't need even a basic understanding of how art works, much less a refined appreciation of beauty for most exams or jobs. So is my class a waste of time for you then? I think not. At least I certainly hope it isn't. Think for a moment, all of you. What is beauty anyway? What makes something beautiful? It's in the eye of the beholder. Interesting. Thank you, Corey. Oh, I don't mean to suggest there's a correct answer to my query. The important thing is that you all take time to think about it. Think about why we might find beauty in a flower blooming on the side of a road, for example. Question why the sky is a different shade of blue than the ocean, or why the leaves change color. Ponder the windmills of Artisan and how they move. Contemplate the chilling bite of the waters of Cascarafa. I'm sure you will find that every little detail of your lives will seem more vivid, more impactful, if you just take a moment and stop and think. And I am certain that if you stop and truly appreciate the little beauties of this world, it will help pull you through the days where your studies have you exhausted or when work has dampened your spirits. Do pardon me for waxing philosophical. Waxing? You don't need to understand all of that now. To put it simply, it is true that one doesn't need art to survive, but it certainly makes surviving much more enjoyable. It is my hope that this class will add even a little bit of color to your lives. That's all for today. Next time, we'll try a more hands-on approach to appreciating beauty. Okay, let's go to art number 2. Hello, class. It is I, Hassel, yet again. In our previous class, we discussed what beauty is, which might have been a little boring for you. So today I thought I would mix things up a little to pique your interest in art. Allow me to introduce our special guest. Gibble. This is Professor Gibble, the assistant lecturer for today. Now then, Professor Gibble, if you would be so kind as to terrestrialize for us the lamb. As some of you may already know, a Pokemon can terrestrialize if you use a Terra Orb. Normally, Professor Gibble would be of the Dragon type, but by terrestrializing, it's succeeding in changing its type. So class, what type do these lovely glistening flowers above Professor Gibble's head represent? The grass type. Excellent, Corey. Full marks for you. These beautiful flowers blooming above Professor Gibble's head shows that it has now become a grass type. The shape of the Terra Jewel above the Pokemon's head depends on the Pokemon's Terra type. To summarize, if an opponent's Pokemon terrestrializes during battle, observe a Pokemon's Terra Jewel closely to see which type it has become, and choose effective moves accordingly. It is my sincere hope that today's lecture will help you all achieve beautiful victories. The terrestrial phenomenon is indeed a fascinating and deep subject to discuss. That is it for today, class. Thank you, Professor Gibble, for your help. Okay, art class number 3. Hello, class. It is I, Hassel, yet again. I've been told that my previous lecture about the terrestrial phenomenon was very well received. Thank you all for your kind words. In fact, Miss Deidre specifically requested that I impart even more battle knowledge to my students. So I have decided that today we will take another look at how a Pokemon can terrestrialize. And of course, here is Professor Gibble to help us. Now then, Professor Gibble, if you would be so kind as to terrestrialize for us. Now, what do we have here? Last class we saw grass type terrestrializing, but this time we have something of a different shape. Observe. A Terra Jewel resembling a snowflake. Its dendritic shape is stunning to behold. It's a little chilly standing so close to it. So class, what Terra type do you imagine this jewel might represent? That's an ice type. Excellent, Corey. Full marks for you. The reason there's a snowflake shining above Professor Gibble's head is simple. It is now an ice type. And because Professor Gibble is currently the ice type moves would not be very effective against it. Keep in mind, usually they would deal quadruple damage to Gibble. Now, here's some trivia about snowflakes. While snowflakes come in many different shapes and sizes, most are classified as hexagons. Just think of it, snowflakes fall from the sky, taking similar shapes without anyone saying they must. Do you not feel the great mystery of nature, the beautiful enigma we live in? This is a bit of a tangent, but Mr. Jacques' glasses are also hexagonal, aren't they? I almost forgot to mention that you can change a Pokemon's Terra type at the Treasure Eatery, located in Medali. Though I must say, the cook there is a little prickly. You'll need to get on her good side if you want her help. Now, come prepared for next class, because this is your time. Now come prepared for next class because it is time for your midterm examination. Thank you for today, Professor Gibble. Glam Gib. Glam Gib. Okay, let's go to our midterm with Mr. Hassel. Or Hassel. 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 I don't know which one it is. I think it's Hassel. But Hassel. Professor Hassel. Mr. Hassel. Hazel, Hassel. I don't know which one it is. Post your comments, guys. I do hope you're all ready because it's time for your midterm exam. Focus and do your best. And begin. What is the name of the gemstone that glows over a Pokemon's head when it terrestrializes? Pretty sure that's the Terra Jewel. When the answer to question 1 is in the shape of flowers, what type does it represent? Grass type. What shape are most snowflakes classified as? Hexagon. Where? Was it hexagon? Yeah. Where is the eatery that allows you to change a Terra type? I'm pretty sure that's Medali. What makes something beautiful? I'm pretty sure there is no correct answer. Time's up! That's it for today's test. Pencils down, please! I would rather not have students worry about passing or failing in my art class, but tests are tests after all. Anyway, good work everyone. You can check your results at the front desk. It feels great to get a test out of the way, doesn't it? Let's take a look at your results. You must get 3 questions correct to pass the midterm exams, and 4 questions correct to pass the final exams. Let's see how you did on your art test. You answered 5 out of 5 questions correctly. That's a passing score. Congratulations! Mr. Hazel asked us to give this reward to any students who pass the exam. We got experience candy small. Okay, let's go back to art class. Hello, class. It is I, Hazel, yet again. I'm pleased to say that everybody did very well on the midterm exams. As a reward for all your hard work, we have a special guest visiting us today. Now then, Brassy, please come in. Greetings! I am Brassius. I am an artist and I focus exclusively on grass-type Pokemon for my work. Brassius here mainly creates 3-dimensional pieces such as statues and the like. One of his major works is the installation titled Surrendering Sunflora, found in Artisan. Many of you have challenged the Artisan Gym and no doubt familiar with these sculptures. Yes, I do recognize some faces among your students. I hope you all understand how fortunate you are to be able to attend Hass's classes. Old Hass is the man who saved me when I had lost all hope and given up on myself. But he never gave up on me. I do not exaggerate when I say that he is my mentor in life. It is precisely thanks to Hass that I was able to establish my current art style. Ah, dear Brassy, I've nothing against reminiscing about old times, but today I hope you will guide this class in a way only you can. Of course. Let's see. Why don't we discuss what Hass mentioned? Surrendering Sunflora. Can anyone here tell me my mood was when I was crafted this detached expression? Sad mood. No. Completely and utterly wrong. When I made that sculpture, I had surrendered all hope. I was prepared to give up everything. I had resolved to give up my life as an artist if that piece did not receive proper recognition. Hence the name Surrendering Sunflora. That's exactly it, Hass. When I started out as an artist, I experienced many hardships. I even became deathly ill, and fell into a slump that drove me to depression. I began worrying only about what would sell. I was concerned only with fame and fortune. But all of my pieces during this time had no depth. They were all shallow trash. It was then that I met Hass. He helped me realize how petty I was being. I'll spare you the details. But in the end, I was able to leave all that behind. And that is also when I crafted the Sunflora. Remarkable. Even I didn't know the full story until now. This kind of thing is hard to tell someone, especially when they are so close to you. Now, I don't doubt that you adolescents will often find your heads crowded with worries. My advice to you is simple. Be honest with yourself and do whatever your heart desires. So long as you don't cause trouble, that is. That is all from me. I must admit, I am beginning to feel a bit embarrassed, so I bid you farewell, Hass. And farewell to your pupils as well. Oh, Brassy, I can't believe it. Such a wonderful class. Thank you so much. He's obviously crying. This is the Elite Four member that cries all the time. Okay, let's go to art number 5. Hello, class. It is I, Hassel, yet again. First, allow me to apologize for losing my composure during our last class. I was so touched by Brassius' story that I simply couldn't contain my emotions. I'm sorry for making such a scene. I certainly got very stern talking to from Miss Time after that class, yes. Anyway, let us shift gears and dive into the materials for today's class. Now, have any of you heard of the 10 sites of Paldea? As the name would simply imply, they are 10 sites in Paldea that are considered particularly beautiful. Among them, I would say that the Grand Olive Orchard is likely the most accessible. You can see field after field of olive trees from the hill on the way to Cortondo. 2 waterfalls are also counted among these 10 sites, Fury Falls and Casaroya Falls. Then there's the peak to Glacedo Mountain, known as Paldea's highest peak. There's another cliff in Glacedo Mountain that's named after its rather unique shape. So let me ask you, my students, what is the name of the 3-pronged cliff on Glacedo Mountain? No need to grasp at straws. Glacedo's grasp? Exactly. It looks like a hand taking hold of something, doesn't it, Corey? The 3 prolonged cliffs on Glacedo Mountain is in fact known as Glacedo's grasp, though its shape is far too stubby to be that of a human hand. I imagine someone thought it looked like a Pokemon's hand grabbing something. There's also the mountains in Area 3 of the East Province, where you can get a good old look at Lavencia. It's particularly gorgeous at night. In fact, the view is so brilliant, it is known as the Million-Volt Skyline. I hear it's quite a hotspot for dates, and deservedly so for having such a romantic view. I imagine it's, what do the kids say these days, a very fleek selfie spot? Of course, you may feel that not all 10 sites live up to their grandiose names. How often do we visit some tourist spots only to be disappointed? Not to say that you shouldn't visit them, only that you should keep your hopes in check. The important thing is to go yourself and see them, with your own two eyes. And sometimes, a disappointing experience can be worthwhile in its own way. Take a chance. Well, that's it for today's class. Thank you for your attention. Hello, class. It is I, Hassel, yet again. My, how time flies, as they say. Indeed, our time together has certainly flown by. It's hard to believe that this is our last class. Now, our topics for today may feel somewhat unrelated to art. But there is absolutely no set definition as to what art should be. Therefore, let us carry on with the discussion and see where it takes us. There are two things I wish to focus on today: ribbons and marks. Both ribbons and marks are special honors that capture a Pokemon's qualities. There will be times when your Pokemon gives maximum effort or has no noteworthy experience. In recognition of its feats and accomplishments, it can be given a ribbon. To give an example, if you manage to become incredibly close to a Pokemon, it may be granted the Best Friend ribbon. Incidentally, there is a person in Cascarafa who can give your Pokemon a Best Friend ribbon. Marks, on the other hand, are mostly found on wild Pokemon when you meet them for the first time. They can symbolize a character of a Pokemon, such as with a Rowdy mark or the Vigor mark. It's completely up to luck whether you run into a Pokemon with these marks. So if you're able to catch a Pokemon with a mark, rejoice at your outstanding fortune. Does anyone know what special thing you can do with Pokemon that have ribbons or marks? You can show them off? Well, yes, indeed, you can show them off, but surely that's not the extent of your interest, is it? The correct answer is that a Pokemon with ribbons or marks can be given titles. What's more, they can be sent into battle displaying the title of your choosing. For example, you could send out Gibble with the Best Friend ribbon by declaring, "Go Gibble, the Great Friend." And while I know it's just said that marks are generally found already on Pokemon when you meet them for the first time, it seems that more recently Pokemon can be awarded certain marks based on their efforts. These are marks such as the Gourmand mark, or the Item Finder mark, the Partner mark, and so on. Perhaps it might be fun to try to work out how to get each mark using its name as a clue. Well, that just wraps up our class. Next is the final exam. Please review your material closely so that you pass on your first try. Okay guys, we're going into the final exam with the art class here with Mr. Hassel. So let's get this test underway. Thanks for the cheering, Psyduck. I do hope you're all ready because it's time for your final exam. Focus and do your best. And begin. What is the name of the restaurant where you can change a Pokemon's Terra type? The Treasure Eatery. What is the name of Brassius's signature art installation that we discussed in class? The Surrendering Sunflora. How many waterfalls are counted among the 10 sites of Paldea? 2. Where can you find the Million-Volt Skyline? Lavencia. And the marks Pokemon has are present when you first meet, and none can be added after. That is false, I think. Yes. False. Time's up. That's it for today's test. Pencils down, please. Thank you all so much for learning about art with me. The time we shared has left a mark that I will treasure, I promise you. And it is my sincere wish that all of you go on to even greater, more prosperous futures. And that's that. Good work, everyone. You can receive your results at the front desk. Some of this stuff is harder to read. The words that you think are going to come up are not the words that are going to come up, and it's just all over the place. Very hard reading at some point. It feels great to get a test out of the way, doesn't it? Let's take a look at your results. So we need to have 4 out of 5 to get the win. Get a passing mark. We got 5 out of 5. Okay, Mr. Hassel asked us to give you this reward as you pass these in. Experience candies, yes! Exactly what I always wanted. Alright guys, that is the end of Mr. Hassel's art class, and we will be going on to home ec in the next episode. Hopefully this video helped you get past the classes, and if it did, post your comments down below, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Peace out.